Hello family! We're excited so many of you decided to join us today, and we're taking a look at one of the most valuable topics, quite literally. Money is part of every household, and as a new parent, one should know how to introduce it to their child from an early age. Long gone are the days when talking about money was taboo. Money is a tool, and as a guardian of their galaxy, you need to teach them how to use it properly so they don't hurt themselves in the long run. No worries, unlike part 1 on ALUX, this video has a more rounded approach with actionable tips you can apply immediately. We start off slowly, and by the end we're going to get into some really deep and valuable things about life. With that said, here are 15 things to teach your child about money. Number 1. The value of hard work. Most children think that money grows in mommy and daddy's wallet. The sooner you help your child grow comfortable around the idea that money is earned, the least irrationally spoiled they become. Teach your child to take pride in their work, and their achievements will drive them forward. Actionable tip: don't give your child an allowance. Instead, allow him the opportunity to earn money by doing chores around the household. Number 2. Show them that stuff costs money. In order for children to understand the concept of value and how it relates to it being earned, a good parent would help the child understand how things compare in value. For a child, a car, a TV, and a bouncy house are worth roughly the same. As a parent, your job is to create this perspective of value. Some things cost more than others, and all of it requires hard work. That way, they won't take what they have for granted. Actionable tip: have your child rank the following items in terms of cost. A puppy, 100 balloons. A car, a $100 bill, and a house. Give them a small reward for playing. Number 3. Teach them about choices and opportunity cost. An important part in teaching children about money is their understanding of having to choose between option A and option B, as well as knowing that if they choose one or the other, they're missing out on the alternative. This teaches them a valuable lesson of priorities and of opportunity cost. Every choice we make incurs an opportunity cost. Actionable tip: take your child to the store and give him a $10 bill. Have him pick one of 2 $10 items and explain to them the pros and cons of each choice, and allow them to make the decision. Make sure both are equal in terms of desire. It could be a small toy, a good dessert, etc. Number 4. Have your child manage a budget. Now that your child has been made aware of the opportunity cost, you need to double down on their ability to prioritize the group over personal desires. This requires them to think about other people and what is the best way to provide the best outcome for everyone. Unless you teach your child to think about others, all they're left to think about is themselves. Actionable tip: we're going back to the store and allowing your child to pick individual desserts for everyone in the family with a fixed budget. Make sure the budget is low enough so they can't get everything they want for everyone. The goal is to get them to sacrifice some of their own pleasure to make sure everyone gets a fair share. Number 5. Time is more valuable than money. This one's for both the parent and the child. The same way you taught your child how to budget the small amount, you need to teach them to budget time. Otherwise, they'll grow up to become one of those individuals who have plenty of plans and goals, but never have the time to go after them. Does that sound familiar? There will always be the option to earn more money, but you can't earn time, which makes time a lot more valuable than money. Actionable tip: your child probably has their eye on a new toy or something that they desire. They're probably wasting a bunch of time playing video games, watching videos, or not doing anything that adds value to their education. Do the math for them, that if they sacrifice 30 minutes of watching cartoons, by the end of the week, they can earn a prize. Put the picture on the fridge and watch them earn it by doing chores or whatever you need them to do. Number 6. Sometimes the reward is waiting for you at the finish line. A big lesson in life is learning to finish the things you start. If you're running a marathon and quit after 20 miles, you don't get the golden medal. Sometimes you only get the reward if you put in all of the work, not a percentage less. Or as ALUX would put it in part 1, you will be rewarded based on outcome, not effort. Actionable tip: give your child a multi-day goal to earn a reward. Let's say he has to do a specific chore for 5 days straight, and on Saturday he gets his reward. The catch is, he's not allowed to skip any days or the counter resets. Make sure to put a time deadline on the reward, otherwise he might just postpone it indefinitely. Number 7. Every debt in life will be paid back with interest. Understanding the concept of debt fairly young will keep your little angel out of bigger debts in the future. Your child needs to understand that just because someone is offering what you want now instead of later, that this type of deal comes with strings attached, and you're more often than not worse off because of it. Every time you borrow money, you're robbing your future self. Actionable tip: make a deal with your child. Give him a specific reward, but in return ask for a higher number of chores than you would normally ask for. Make sure he understands the term of the deal and introduce the notion of a collateral. Otherwise, unlike the Lannisters, he will never pay back his debt. Number 8. Other people will have more money than you, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having money. Some people have more, some people have less. We're all born under different circumstances and know very little about the lives other people lived. Believe it or not, the lifestyle you live right now is someone else's dream life. Teach your child not to look down on people based on how much money they have, how well they dress, how expensive their toys or holidays are, and at the same time, make peace with the fact that others might have more. Actionable tip: make a habit of giving in the presence of your child. Let them pick a charity and donate under his name, even a little bit of money. This will normalize the idea of helping those less fortunate and a gratitude for what you already have. Number 9. Do not buy things you don't need. We've made a habit of buying and buying stuff. Stuff we don't even need. It's crowding our homes, it fills our drawers and our basements. In an ideal world, we'd all be minimalists to the best of our ability. Whenever possible, teach your child about quality over quantity. Instead of buying 10 cheap plasticky toys, get him a quality one that he may fall in love with. Actionable tip: allow your child to show you their favorite things in the house and why they love them so much. Based on their reply and your ability to foresee their future needs, buy them only quality products that fill their puzzle of needs. Number 10. Real wealth is how many things you have that money can't buy. Okay, we just got into the deep end, and from this point on, we're making the folks at ALUX really proud. How blessed you are in life is not dependent on the material possessions. It's the things we take for granted, the people we have around us, the memories we have for ourselves. That's true value. Many people have money but are not wealthy. Many people wish they could buy a happy family, health, or a couple more years with their parents, but can't. As long as you are alive, be grateful for what you have. And if you really want to be wealthy, collect things that money can't buy. Number 11. They can get anything they want as long as they pay half the price. Here's a very interesting concept that one of our friends is doing with their kids that I'm sure many of you will want to implement as well. Basically, the kids can get anything they want as long as they pay for half. You want a car when you're 16? We'll match whatever money you're ready to spend for the car. This helps the kids set a specific goal, aids them in creating a plan, and executing it with a clear purpose. What do you think? Would you do something like this with your children? Number 12. If you're going to be working hard, at least pick something fun. Going through life working hard at something you despise is no way to live. The most successful people have figured out ways to monetize their passions, or at least make their journey enjoyable. Be very attentive around your child and allow him or her to experiment with different fields. Never force what you believe would have been a better path for yourself onto your child. You're there to help them figure it out for themselves. If they get it right, life will be easy and a joy to live. What for you looks like play, for others will look like work. Your child will have a blast building, playing, and pushing the world forward, and in exchange, society will reward him for his bravery. Number 13. Money doesn't buy happiness, but lack of money brings misery. Growing up without money sucks. But as a child, you don't really know that you're poor until you're old enough to see that others have more than you. In adulthood, things become more serious. Money brings a whole new set of problems on its own. But the lack of money is even worse. Stress goes through the roof, you don't feel safe. The future isn't all rainbows and sunshine. As much as people would love to say it, there's nothing romantic about being unable to afford basic things or knowing that your child doesn't have as much as you'd like to give. Which is even more of a reason to implement the things we mentioned on this list into your child's life as early as possible. Number 14. People will treat you differently based on how much money you have. At number 8 on this list, you taught him about his perspective on other people, how not to look down on those who have less than him, and how not to be envious of those who have more. An important distinction to be made is that the child will have to navigate a world where everybody else didn't get the educational opportunity your child did. Others will judge him or her based on the financial status. If your family is rich, people might have an ulterior motive to befriend him. We bet you know at least a couple of people who'd befriend you to serve their own interests. The other side of the coin is when your child has less, and because of it, others will feel a sense of superiority. Teach your child that other people don't determine your worth in society based on their own values. You determine it based on yours. Number 15. Teach him to be a part of his favorite companies. The last item on this list is quite fun. We stole the concept from another family friend that got their children excited about being part of the stock market. Here's how it goes so you can try this yourself. Every time your child wants a product, explain to him or her that there are people working for a company that's making the product they want to buy. And there's this option that those people can work for you. If your child wants the new PlayStation 5 priced at $399, invest $100 in Sony. Believe it or not, the child gets really excited to know that they own a tiny fraction of the company that's making their favorite toys. Our friends' children are actually competing on whose companies are doing better and creating better toys. Create a separate account just for them and start early. Time will go by and the wealth will accumulate. By the time they're ready to go to college, they should have quite a nest egg. Which makes us wonder, how many of these concepts did you teach your children by now? It's okay if this is the first time you've pondered talking to your kids about money in a more actionable or deep way. But that's why we're here for you. We're all a big family looking to raise the next generation. As for those of you still watching, we've got a secret bonus point which you'll love. If you've come here from ALUX, you're probably aware of the concept of generational wealth. The concept that you can build it big enough that future generations will not have to struggle the same way that you did. But there's a catch. It takes 3 generations to blow through the entire fortune. About 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, and 90% do by the following generation. The first one builds it, the second one tries to maintain it, and the third one blows through all of it. Believe it or not, smart rich people are actually doing something about this. Wealthy families get together at least once a year in order to make sure this doesn't happen. Grandparents, parents, and children come together and discuss the evolution of the family wealth, so that everyone in all 3 generations is on the same page. They create rules of spending. They set money aside in trusts that are not to be touched. They have a diversified portfolio comprised of land, real estate, the family businesses, and even art. This might all be new to you, but legacy wealth, that's the key. Maybe your parents didn't have much, so this process begins with you. If this is a concept that you believe should be a part of your family's future, please write LW in the comments. That way we know which of you are in this for real.